I'm on the phone. I'm on IFB. Talk to Pete through Roberts, please, please. All right, I will. Hey, Kaylee, can you hear me? Kaylee? Hey, I can hear you. I'm on IFB too. Yes, I can hear you. Okay. Okay. Hey, Kaylee, what are we doing? I can hear you. Kaylee, I can hear you. Can you hear me? Do you all hear me? Do you hear me? He's here. He's on the ground. On the ground. On the ground. He's right there. Hey, good morning. A little bit early, Rebecca. We are, if you're looking right now on your screen, you're seeing Air Force Two, which is making its way down the runway at Tri-Cities Airport. Just landed a moment ago before we came on the air here. So a little bit of what's going to happen as we understand it right now. We won't be able to see a great deal of Vice President Vance, but you'll see he's making a slow taxiway back down to a building across the way where the motorcade is waiting. We counted about 12 to 15 cars in that motorcade a short time ago. And, of course, he is on his way to Damascus, Virginia. So this is just a landing stop here. They'll get in the motorcade and travel from this point forward. Now, we don't know exactly officially the way that route's going to go, but we can pretty much guess by the common sense what's going to happen. Once he comes off that plane, which does usually take a little bit of time for them to be able to get off the plane, there's usually some national media traveling with them. Not quite the entourage we see when the president comes to town, but there will be some national media traveling with him and his support staff. They'll come off first, then the vice president typically comes off, and we do know the staircase is there waiting for that. We may be able to see that. I'm not sure exactly what's in our shot as Keith is following the plane Air Force Two back down the runway. But once he comes off the plane, he'll join the motorcade. And then the expected route from here will be to travel up Interstate 81 northbound. So that's going to mean that traffic is not going to be moving very much northbound for a little bit. It'll travel to about exit 19 in Virginia. We have, again, Virginia State Police, Tennessee Highway Patrol will be leading that along Secret Service as they make their way up to Damascus, Virginia, where he is expected to take part in a roundtable. That roundtable with Governor Glenn Youngkin and other officials from across the region expected around 12:30. We'll be able to show that with you live streaming on our website as well. Once that happens, our Kristen Kwan is there. We'll have team coverage from Damascus. As JD Vance, when he was here before as a candidate and running for vice president, he made the promise that he would be back to Damascus to check on how flood recovery from Helene was going, and this is fulfillment of that promise. This is his first trip out of Washington as a vice president, and he is making it here to Tri-Cities and back up to Damascus, Virginia, which also of note, you may remember just a few days ago, we were in Asheville, North Carolina as President Trump was making his first trip as president back in office. Also back to our region and Helene recovery. He made a stop in Asheville, North Carolina. So if you're just joining us, we're on the air a little bit early here for News 5 at noon as we're watching Air Force 2 now on the ground at Tri-Cities Airport. Vice President JD Vance is arriving here on his way to Damascus, Virginia, as he continues to check on Helene recovery and meeting with Governor Glenn Youngkin. And of course, we'll have that for you as the afternoon rolls on. But a little bit, the plane is now pulling up to park, the motorcade waiting there, and will then make its way about 45 miles or so it takes by what the map says to get to Damascus from here. Of course, speed limit is just not even a suggestion for them. They'll travel at whatever speed they want. It won't take them quite that long to get there, about 30 minutes or so, to make that trip up to Damascus and to check on the flood recovery in southwest Virginia. But quite a sight as the Air Force 2 landed here. You'll notice it has a little bit of a different paint scheme than what the Air Force 1 does, and not quite the size of an Air Force 1 plane. But, Rebecca, it is still remarkable to see a vice president here on the ground in the Tri-Cities as we continue to recover for such the devastation that Helene brought not only to southwest Virginia, northeast Tennessee, and western North Carolina. This is a sign that a lot of folks have been wanting to see, is that is some more support and more attention coming to the recovery efforts. 2, 3, 4. I got Kaylee in my ear. If you guys are watching us on stream, this is the part of news you don't normally get to see. Hey, Rebecca, I got you. Hey, guys, get to me quickly if you can. Hey, Kaylee, can you hear me? Hey, they're still here. They haven't moved. Get here as fast as you can. They haven't moved yet. Get out here as fast as you can. Do we think he's off the plane? They close the door.
Door's still open. The SUVs are still parked in front of the.
I will. I'll
Start talking first, and that way I know.
We can hear that thing fly over here. Oh, yeah. They're cool, aren't they? Oh. You do? That's cool.
Yes. If I would, they haven't moved. I would get us back on as fast as you can. I can sing and dance if you want to. I'd get on as fast as you can. He hasn't left yet, and he's still here. We've got live pictures. I'd get up as fast as you can. Just let me know. I'm listening. Just let me know. Here we go. 2 minutes.
Still there. Still there.
Okay.
So, Preston, you want me to stay on them and then come out to you?
Yeah, stay on that. Then I'll step in and talk. So they want me at least to be on camera at some point, and then I'll walk back out of the way. Oh dear, my IFB's dying. My IFB's dying. My IFB just died. Okay, we're gonna do it this way. I charge that thing.
SUVs are still there.
Race. 15.
15. 15. Hey, good afternoon again, Rebecca. I am standing just off camera here so that you can see the action that's unfolding right now at Tri-Cities Regional Airport, just off the side of the runway, not over here next to the actual airport. You may be thinking out when you're flying in and out commercially, but it's one of the far buildings. There's actually, I believe, it's a federal building. You're looking at Air Force 2. Has landed just about maybe not quite 10 minutes ago. The motorcade is still there around the plane right now. You can see it. So I'm going to step in the shot here just to kind of give you an idea of what you're looking at. We do know that the steps were brought up a moment ago. Several people did come off of the plane. We're not sure if Vice President Vance has made it off the plane just yet or not. We do know that the Secret Service vehicles are there. The motorcade is there. There's about 17 to 20 some vehicles in that motorcade. You can see lined up there ready to pull away from Air Force 2 once that's here. Now, what is going to happen? This is a fairly low-key event from happening here at Tri-Cities. I'll step back out so you can watch kind of what's unfolding here. He's going to get in that motorcade and travel from here to Damascus, Virginia, where he's going to meeting with folks on the Helene recovery. Now, the fact that the Vice President is on the ground here in Blunteville has attracted a little bit of a crowd. We've got, I don't know, half a dozen or so people out here watching just from a distance to see a chance to see the Vice President. And my photographer, Keith Roberts, is telling me that we are beginning to see the motorcade move away from Air Force 2. So what's going to happen at this point is it will leave from here. You're seeing it pull out from Tri-Cities Airport. Highway 75, we can tell you that is blocked off right now in front of the airport. You're not going to be able to travel that. And then, of course, the road that takes the airport parkway back out to Interstate 81 is also closed at this point as well. I can see looking behind our camera, the emergency vehicles are headed up toward the interstate at this point now as well. So they'll travel Interstate 81 northbound to exit 19 in Virginia, in the Damascus exit there, and heading over to where our Kristen Kwan is waiting, and she'll be over there as they cover a roundtable with Governor Glenn Youngkin. So it'll take them about half an hour or so as they make their way up the interstate. Traffic will be a little bit of an issue there. You won't be able to travel along with the Vice President. And also those on-ramps, off-ramps, those will also be blocked off as well to limit traffic as he's on his way. But we're watching right now as we see this unfolding. Vice President JD Vance, the motorcade, about to leave from Tri-Cities Airport and make its way toward Abingdon. Of course, he was here as candidate Vance, running for Vice President before the election, not long before Election Day, and that's when he said he would be back. And this is his first trip as a Vice President as he is making his way back to the Tri-Cities and on his way to Damascus to meet where things have recovered. We've heard a little bit about the recovery that the federal government has approved for the Creeper Trail, but still a lot of work that needs to be done in the Damascus area. And no doubt not only talking about Southwest Virginia, but the recovery in Northeast Tennessee as well will be on the mind, as you know, a lot of folks here on both sides of the state line are still recovering from the effects of Helene. And then just a few days ago, we were in Asheville, North Carolina, as President Donald Trump making his first trip since he was back in office, and he was back in to our area looking at Helene recovery on the North Carolina side. There you see the motorcade, which again about 17 to 20 cars long. The motorcycles pulling out first there. We have Secret Service, Virginia State Police, Tennessee Highway Patrol, all a part of this. And then you will see the motorcade with Vice President JD Vance making his way up Interstate 81, kind of watching this unfold, something we don't see every day here. But there is a bit of a history of presidential visits, vice presidential visits here at the Tri-Cities Airport, and talking with the folks from the airport here. Several visits have happened here. We've covered, President Trump was here campaigning a few years ago as well, made a stop here in Johnson City. But you're watching now as they'll cross over the runway. And there's the motorcade of Vice President J.D. Vance making his way to Damascus this afternoon. But Highway 75 up to Interstate 81 is where they'll be traveling. But on quite a procession there, as we see, you'll see the ambulances will be in the background as well. All the support vehicles that travel with the Vice President and the President as well. But Rebecca, I'm not sure if you're still with me at this point, but we're watching this about a 30-minute drive, I believe, that they'll have as they make their way to Damascus. But we'll watch this as it unfolds here and leaves out of Tri-Cities. Hey, Kaylee, if you want to come back to me.
Guys, come back to President G. Come back to President.
Come back to me.